Okay, so we're going to begin Chapter 11. Chapter 11 deals with assemblies and blocks. Okay, we're going to create this assembly. Okay, this is again Chapter 11. We've already drawn this part here. We're going to draw the other parts. We're going to create the assembly. We're going to create the parts list. And we're going to create the balloons. Okay, so if you go to page 11-4 and 11-5, you will see the drawing for the cap screw, the collar, and the base plate. Like I said, we've already drawn the bearing already, and what I would like you to do is open all of those up, all four of those up. All right, and then come back to me. Okay, we're in the cap screw. We're going to create a block out of this. Okay, what a block does, it allows us to use this same piece or pieces over and over again. So we're going to create a block of this screw, and then we're going to insert it into this drawing. If we want to insert it in another drawing, we'd make it a W block or a right block. Okay, but just to show you how it works, we're just going to insert it in here. Okay, so under the Insert tab, I'm going to go to Create Block. Okay, and ask me a name, and I'm going to call it cap screw. Okay, it needs a pick point, and I'm going to pick the midpoint right there. Then it wants me to select objects, and I'm going to select everything. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and then that is it. Okay, and I'm going to pick OK. Now if I go up here to insert, you'll see that I have a cap screw there. Okay, so if I go up to where it says insert, again you'll see that we have the block right there, and we could just grab it right there. But I'm going to go here, and any recent block we made will show up, and I'm going to pick on recent blocks. Okay, and here you'll see that this window popped up, and there is my cap screw, and any other blocks that I used recently would be there. Okay, now I want this cap screw to be horizontal and vertical, so I'm going to change the angle here to -90. Okay, now I could scale it if I want, I could rotate it, I could explode it, and we'll talk about explode in a minute. Alright, once I have all these settings here, I just double click on the cap screw. Okay, and then it allows me to put it wherever I like. Okay, notice it's putting it at that base position that we picked, so I'm going to click right there. Okay, I can close this window. Now if you notice, if I highlight this, the whole thing becomes highlighted. Again, the block is treated as one entity. If we wanted it to be separate entities, we could hit the explode button. Alright, so now I'm ready to start using my assemblies. Okay, so we're going to start our assembly on a new drawing. So I opened up a inch template right here, okay, which is blank of course, and I'm going to go to the base plate. Okay, now we're going to use this drawing for the base plate, okay, or that view. So I'm going to highlight it all. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to clipboard, and I'm going to pick copy. I'm going to go into our new drawing. I'm going to right click, clipboard, and I'm going to pick paste. Okay, now I'm going to make this into a section view. So I'm going to highlight everything, and right click and go to quick select. I'm going to go to layer. Okay, I want to get rid of those hidden lines, so I'm going to pick OK. Now I'm going to put all the hidden lines on the object or layer. Okay, hit escape, and there they are. Now I had my simplified thread drawn here, so I don't need the minor diameters anymore because we're not going to see that on our assembly drawing. So I'm going to pick delete. Okay, I'm going to go into hatch. Okay, and I'm going to use the ANSI 31. I'm going to hatch here, 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 and here. Okay, so now I have my first piece for my assembly. Okay, so now I'm ready to start placing some more of my components in here. First one I'm going to do the bearing. Okay, I'm going to go into the bearing drawing and I'm going to pick this piece. Now this piece is in the wrong direction as well, so I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it as a block so I'm able to just pick the one object and rotate it. Okay, so I'm going to pick all of it. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to clipboard, I'm going to pick copy with base point. Okay, because I want to insert that right at this midpoint. Okay, I'm going to go to my assembly drawing. Okay, I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to clipboard. Now, this happens a lot. It says paste as block, which is what I want. It's grayed out. So if I just go and pick a line anywhere, right click, clipboard, now I can pick paste as block. And I'm going to put that point there, that midpoint of that line, right at the intersection of this line right here. Okay, now again you notice it's one entity, so I can just click on it, right click and pick rotate. Okay, I'll pick that same spot, and then if I put my F8 on, I can rotate it right around there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be placing more parts here, so I'm going to need to trim some of these guys away. Now I can't trim this one because it's a block. Okay, so I'm going to go up and I'm going to explode and I'm going to pick this block. Okay, now I'm going to trim away the lines I don't need, and I don't need this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Now when I go to trim this one, I have to do it twice because there's actually two lines there, one for the bearing and one for the base here. Okay, now I'm leaving this line here and this line here. Okay, I'm going to use those lines to insert our other pieces in there. Okay, so now I'm going to insert the collar, so I'm going to go to the collar. Okay, I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to the clipboard, I'm going to pick copy with the base point. Again, I want that same spot. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my assembly drawing. I'm going to right click, I'm going to pick, again the paste as block is grayed out, so I'm going to pick a line somewhere. That one, clipboard, paste as block, and I'm going to put it right there. Okay, again since that is a block, I'm going to highlight it, right click, rotate, pick that same spot. Okay, and then just put it right there. Now these hatch lines should go in a different direction than these hatch lines. Okay, I can't edit it when it's a block, so I need to explode it again. Okay, now if I double click on one of the hatch lines, okay, now I have up here, okay, my hatch. Now I want to change my angle, and I'm going to change this angle to 180. Click somewhere, whoops, double click on that, change that to 180 and hit enter. Okay, then hit escape. Now you see that it changed my hatch pattern. Okay, now I'm going to go into my cap screw. Okay, I can pick this guy as a single block, right click, clipboard, copy with the base point. I want this base point. Go back to my drawing, I can right click, clipboard. Again, I have to pick something, so I'm going to pick this line. I'm going to right click, clipboard, paste as a block, and I'm going to put one right there, and one, I'm going to do it again and put one right there. Okay, so there's our assembly. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go to layout 1. Okay, now I already cut the hole in it. You know to go to layout, rectangular, put the hole in it. I'm going to double click in here so I'm in my model space. Take off your grid if it's there. And I'm going to place this somewhere. I'm going to place it towards the top because down here is where I want to put my parts list, my table. Okay, I'm going to go back into Paperspace. I'm going to right click on the viewport and I'm going to lock the display. Well, actually before I do that, let's go back in there and let's change our scale. My scale is 0.825. I'm going to change this 1 to 1. So I need to pan down a little bit. Okay, now back into Paperspace, right click and lock the viewport. Okay, we're going to go up the top and we're going to go into the one that says format. If you don't have that, hit the little down arrow here and show the menu bar. Okay, so I'm going to go into format and you'll see table style. I'm going to click on the table style. Okay, I'm going to make a new table style and I'm going to call it parts list. Okay, and pick continue. Now on there I'm going to put that I want to go up. Okay, I want it to go up because I'm going to put it down here and my numbers are going to go up this way. Okay, I'm now going to take in here for my data and my text height is going to be 0.125 for my data. For my header is also going to be 0.125. Okay, and the title, we're not going to put a title in it, so we'll just leave this alone. Okay, and we'll pick OK, and then we'll pick close. Okay, now under annotate, under home, okay, up here where it says annotation, you will see table, and I'm going to click on the table. Okay, I want to make sure that that says parts list. I want to make sure that this says the number of columns is 4, column width is 1, the number of data rows is 1, the row height is 1. Okay, my first row is going to be a header, and then data and data. Okay, we're going to start with an empty one, and we'll pick OK. Okay, and there is what our table is going to look like. Now we're just going to click down here somewhere and it'll be fine. Now I'm going to put number, hit the tab key, I'm going to type in the word description, hit the tab key, REQ, hit the tab key, and MATL. Okay, so I put number, description, and required, and material. Okay, so now I want to move my table around. Okay, and the first thing I want to do before that though is I need a couple more rows here. I only have 2 and I have 4 parts. Okay, so if I click on any of those rows here, okay, and right click, you'll see insert row above, and I can put one above. Okay, or I could right click and say insert row below. Okay, now I have my correct amount of rows there. Okay, again, don't worry about the location or what's fitting. We'll fix all that in a couple minutes. Okay, now what I can do is I can start filling in my table. Okay, so I'll zoom up on this a little bit. Okay, and then I can just click here. Okay, and this is going to be item number 4. I've hit the down arrow. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is cap screw 3/8. Okay, this one is collar, bearing, and base plate. Okay, go over to this. We have 2 cap screws, 1 collar, 1 bearing, 1 base plate. Okay, our material, this is cast iron. This is steel, steel, and steel. Okay, so we have it filled in. Now, if I double click or just click on the box itself twice, oops, sorry, I gotta click here, okay? Now if I click here, I can start moving this around. I'm gonna grab this block right here, click and hold it, okay? And I'm gonna move it to this endpoint right here. Okay, now I can take this one and I can slide it so it's going to take up the whole thing. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to start moving these rows of columns around. So I'll click here, it turns red, I'll click and hold it, let's drag it over to there. Okay, maybe even a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to take my F3 off. I don't know if that's causing me a problem. Yes, it was. Okay, description. I want to make sure I have enough room here for my description. Can change the required, maybe make the description a little bit bigger. Get my required smaller. Okay, my steel should be good. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to click in this guy and I'm going to make this row smaller. Okay, like that. And I can make this one smaller. Okay, and it'll go down and it'll make it the same as all the rest. Okay, so if I want, I could take and if I click here and then drag down, okay, it'll highlight them all. I can go up here to the top and you'll see this is where my alignment is. Right now it's top right. Okay, I'll make it middle center and that will line those up. Okay, and I'll do the same thing here and I'll make them middle center. Okay, so now I have my block in here. Okay, my parts list. Okay, now we need to create the balloons. Okay, and the balloons are going to be so that we can point to each part and we'll have a number that's going to correspond to the number here. Okay, so I'm going to go up to annotate and I'm going to go up to leaders. I'm going to click on leaders to open the leader style. Okay, I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to call it balloon. Okay, I'm going to pick continue. Okay, I'm going to change the arrowhead. Now the arrowhead's going to stay the same. Okay, 125. I'm going to change content, and here where it says MTEX, I'm going to hit down here. I'm going to pick block. Okay, now you'll see that here I can make a block. I can hit a slot, a circle, a box, hexagon. We're going to make that a circle. I'm going to pick OK. Make sure balloon is highlighted and set the current. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick close. Okay, and make sure up here where it says leaders I have balloon. Okay, I can pick from the multi-leader here, or I could go back to home and I can pick leader here. So I'm going to pick leader. Okay, I'm going to pick this first point. I got to put my O snap back on F3 because I took it off. Okay, and I'm going to point to, let's say we make this guy here, take my F8 off. Okay, and I'm going to put the leader right there. Click on it. Now this is the collar. This is number 3. So I type in 3, hit OK. Spacebar. I'll pick the midpoint. Now you have to pick a point too. So I'm going to pick there. And then this is the bearing. This is number 2. Okay. I'm going to go into it again. I'm going to pick on this guy. Okay, and that is the cap screw. And that is number 4. I'm going to pick OK. And then lastly, I'm going to pick this guy here. Okay, and that is my base plate. That is number 1. Okay, now I'd like to have another leader pointing to both screws. So if I highlight this one, right click, okay, and I can pick add leader. You see it puts a leader on there, and I'll put it over there in that screw, then hit escape. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll go to material. Since this is a assembly drawing, I will type in none. Okay, the title, this is chapter 10 assembly. Okay, your name, of course, the scale we did was 1:1. Okay, today's date, put the drawing number, and this is CAD 101 CH11. Okay, I need to revise that. This is chapter 11, so I can double click on this guy. Change this to 11. Okay, if for example I messed up one of my balloons and put the wrong number in it, you can just go back and double click on it and it will come back here. Okay, so you're going to draw this if you didn't draw it with me, and this will be your project due for the end of chapter 11. Okay, and you should be ready to make your assembly drawing on your air engine. All right, that is it for now.